I'm Greg, front of house mixer here at the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. You're in the Ed Sullivan Theater. Let's take a little tour. So because this is a theater, it feels like we have a show that starts the moment the audience walks in. The music's loud, the warm-up guy comes out, he tells his jokes, the band starts playing. It just moves, as a show. I feel like there's a lot more involvement of the audience in the theater as opposed to in a TV studio. I don't even know how to put it in words. It feels more showy. Like it feels more, where the seats are bolted down. It's not, folding chairs on risers or whatever. So, people come in and feel more like we're here to see a show in a theater. There is a long history of shows in this. I think this theater was built in 1929, so there's been shows here for a very long time. So they've kind of kept the whole aesthetics of a theater. You come in, you sit down in a nice cushy chair, and it was a Broadway playhouse called the Hammerstein Theater. And then it was a radio studio for CBS for a long time. The Jackie Gleason show was here. The Honeymooners. When Letterman was here, they had a lighting grid that came down low. They had sound sails in the back. And if you look up pictures of the Letterman show, it looks much smaller. And when Colbert moved in, they took all that out and they found the dome, and they found the stained glass windows, and they found all that. So they refurbed the theater to put this round lighting rig in. So you get to see it's a much more grand feeling when you come in.
Wow, we're in a real theater.
Yeah. This is the main splitter and head amps for the entire show. So I'm on Yamahas. So up at the top, we've got my 4 Rios for music, 2 for house band, 2 for guest bands. Monitors is on Digico. So he's got house band, guest band, and production for his Digicos. Harvey and music mix is on SSL. So there's those SSL head amps. It's a lot of cables, but it's pretty simple. It's the same thing, copy paste. One mic hits multiple spots.
Cool.
So this is our backstage A2 worlds, where the audio guys hang out. We have 3 A2s that work the stage. We got lead production guy who clips all the mics on everybody and makes sure that all the production mics are good. And then we have our music guys who put all the microphones in front of the instruments and make sure those all are plugged in and work and hit the splitters, and all 4 mixers are getting it and everything works.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Herrera, and I'm the stage A2 at the Late Show. And I deal mostly with the music acts. I'll see what mics they need, what inputs they're bringing, what instruments, and what monitors they need. And then I'll make the paperwork for the rest of the crew so they know what they're doing when the band shows up. And then on the day of, I will lead the charge of making it all happen on the stage. One of the things that I find the most interesting about the house band is they'll have iPads, right? And so the really interesting thing is that sometimes a guest will talk about a song and they want to play it. So Joe will pull it up on the computer, they'll talk about the key, and this is all while the interview's happening, and they'll work out songs on the fly. And they'll talk to each other in the in-ears, and Joe will play the music, and they'll all hear it in their in-ears, so they can start be like, okay, yeah, we know how to play Sly and the Family Stone, whatever, and then they'll figure it out and they'll play it. So there's a whole conversation going on over here with the band. It's really interesting in the middle of the show that nobody knows about. You can be sitting right there and have no idea they were doing all of this, which is really cool. What we usually do is when we come in the morning on the band days, we'll sit down with the band and we'll just go through the paperwork real quick and make sure that what we have and what they are expecting to happen matches up, right? The same number of wedges that we talked about, the same inputs. In case the artist made a change in the middle of the night, they forgot to tell us, we just check in on that. And then from there, we just build it out. I'll do the patch typically. Here we have the same splitter. We have it in 2 locations because we need to be able to patch it up there or down here. We use old school Claire 14-channel snakes. We have our molds kind of laid out all over the place, right? So we've got a few here with power ready to go for the bands. And then over here, we've got our NL cables for our speakers, for our wedges. So this is all kind of ready to go. So essentially all of the amps for wedges are here, and everything's kind of pre-cabled over to these. These are numbered to which channel, which amp channel it is, and these are all color coded, and away you go. It's a little much to juggle sometimes, but it's a lot of fun.
Up here in the balcony, front of house, that's me on this side. I use two CL5s. I do production and house band on this desk. So my day-to-day, my chair is in front of this desk. I sit in front of this desk. My coffee is to the left of this desk. Like this is where I live. Each desk can do up to 72 inputs. We had to do a little bit of creative patching because I ran out of inputs on this desk. So things like videotapes and high levels from downstairs and things like that will hit this desk, and then I've patched it over on a virtual fader. What's cool about these desks is that I live on custom faders. So left to right, this is how my desk looks normally for a show. I've got my warm-up mic, and that's for pre-show. Then I've got a mono bus, which is just a secondary, a double busing of Colbert's Lav. Chats is a pre-fade feed of all of the band's vocal mics. That also rarely gets used, but what it does is allows me to, if Stephen talks to anybody in the band and they want to talk back to him, I can open this up and they can use their vocal mics without reverb, without delays, without anything, and it's kind of turned down a little bit, so it kind of matches more of a production vibe as opposed to a music vibe. And that is also fed into Stephen's foldbacks, so he can hear them talking from across the stage. We have a Colbert handheld. We've had guests on that wanted to sing with him. We give the guests a handheld, and we give him a handheld, and they can sing at the desk. I call it the Jesus Christ Superstar mic because there are moments where if the band plays, especially a song from Jesus Christ Superstar, Stephen Colbert will get up, walk over, pick up that mic and sing along with them. So that mic sits there, it's on, it's charged, it's ready to go, it's routed everywhere it needs to go. So if he ever walks over there and feels the urge to sing along with the band, he's got a mic sitting in there that he can pick up and sing along with the band. And then I've built it backwards, left to right, because if you see the way the desk is set up, Stephen's at his desk, and then the guest one is to his left. So I've built mine going left to right so that if there's two guests, it matches up with the two chairs. If we have a cast, they can put out a bigger couch and we can line up a number of microphones, and it goes left to right, camera left to right, as opposed to number left to right. I'm trying to make it so that the audience is able to hear the whole show and understand the whole show. It's a comedy show, so the audience has to react, and the audience reaction is a large part of why we do it in a theater with 450 people. The audience laughing and the audience cheering and the audience being involved in the show is a large part of the show. 5 shotguns up here, there's got to be at least another 8 or so downstairs, plus hanging mics. There's probably there's plenty of audience mics, so I need to be able to allow the audience to hear everything that's going on, understand everything that's going on, but there's a balance between making it rock show loud and everybody's hearing everything, and being able to stay out of the broadcast mix. There's a couple of interesting anomalies in this specific house where like super high end, like 10K, 16K frequencies will hit the back wall and slap back. So I've got to be cognizant of being loud enough and intelligible enough for the audience to hear and be involved, but not too loud to where the A1 downstairs is having trouble getting a clean sounding recording. Band is just loud rock show. We turn it up and make it loud in here, and it's a lot of fun. We cover the balcony with the large form JBL line array. It looks big, it looks powerful, but it really, I don't know that there's any other way to cover the distance of the balcony. We do a lot of communicating through stage guys and via comms and whatnot, as opposed to talkback mics and yelling at each other from 100 feet away at the front of house. We talk constantly through the show. The director is always calling shots and always talking. The AD is always calling cues, and the stage manager is, having conversations. So we listen into all that, as well as being able to talk down to our people on stage. There's monitors on the far side, way up, just above the throw of my PA system. So he doesn't have to really listen to what I'm doing, but he is doing monitors from in front of the PA.
Hi, my name's Alan Bonomo. I mix monitors. Monitor mixing is individual mixes for band members that they get through these packs and these ear monitors. Everything is all individual. Everybody has their own mix, and they can listen to whatever they want.
You're mixing individual stems that then give the artists on stage the ability to, quote unquote, kind of remix it for their purposes to get the best performance out of them.
Yes, each individual IEM pack is a stereo mix. And depending where they're standing on stage, they hear other instruments differently than what I'm hearing. So they request different levels for different things. I do have talkbacks where they can talk to me, and they can talk to each other. They go to every mix. So they could tell me in the talkback. So I'm controlling everybody's mix here. You can see every band member, and I have guest packs. And then I also have these wedge mixes. I have 4 of them on stage, which generally have just the basic kick, snare, hi-hat, bass, keyboards, and electronic instruments. Because we're on TV, the mixer, the broadcast, they wanted to keep the stage level as low as possible. So I try and minimize what comes out of the speakers. If something comes blaring out of the speakers, it's going to get into the mics. The touring groups, they come in with their monitor engineer, and I work with them. I make a general mix and then take out or raise up whatever they want or don't want. We want it to be the best it can be. Most of the time, it works out pretty smoothly.
What's your favorite part about the gig?
Oh, working with the bands is my favorite part. It's a once-in-a-lifetime gig.
The best part about this job here is the people we work with. It's incredible. It's a family. We all love working with each other. We love doing what we do, and we enjoy hanging out with each other. And we've all known each other for a long time, so it's just a good time.